Wysteria, energy, twister. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and these bite side stories. This one's called Monsters Like Us by Jeanette. Really, the chasm between who I am and who I long to be seems unsurmountable. I am a monster. Those words don't have the same power to me that they might say to a human. It's the same as saying, I'm a meat eater to a vegetarian. Even a meat eater watches cow killing videos in horror before their trip to the local burger joint. But the cow must feel a special kind of horror, personal and intense. It was a Saturday night, dark and full of possibility. I strolled along huge sidewalks made small by the tall steel buildings overshadowing them. At this time of night, humans, at least the smart ones, sought shelter, while those with a taste for blood hunted. A young woman, a child to my centuries, with a fresh face and jaunty walk, held hands with a fellow whose brains were severely outmatched by his need to show off. She caught my eye and fearfully leaned in to whisper, "We need to get off the street." He laughed, the poor fool, and said, "All of those videos are fake. It's just a way to scare people into staying home. Come on, we're having an adventure." I want to go home. She wasn't petulant or childish when she spoke. If anything, it was an honest request brought on by an intelligence that scanned her surroundings and saw danger. Saw me. I'm the shadow that threatens their cozy existence. She was right to fear me. She leaned in and I saw a finger pointing my way. He ignored her and said, "Come on, we just got here. We have to see the bridge. You can't chicken out now." With reluctance, she walked with her boyfriend. They were holding hands. It was sweet, like watching a pair of lambs gamble in a field. That didn't make the lamb chops any less tasty when put on the dinner table, but they were cute nonetheless. I stalked them to the bridge. My hunting grounds crossed those of half a dozen other night terrors who lived in the cities feeding off of humanity. Urban legend said that anyone who saw the bridge at night would die. Urban legend wasn't far off the mark. "Terry, pay attention." He tugged on her hand a bit. She was sensitive, that one. Her eyes roamed the nooks and crannies, the shadowy corners of the buildings, looking for me. My gift left me 10 feet in the air, watching from the balcony of the Italian bistro that closed promptly at 9. "There's something out there," she said. She pulled her hand out of his and turned, searching for the danger she knew existed. "I want to go back." He smirked at her, the pompous, arrogant smile of a guy who knows too much at 18. I wanted to slurp that grin off his face when he mocked Terry's fear. I felt sorry for her. "I'm going back to the car." Terry walked away from her boyfriend, thinking he would follow. With a shrug, he called her back and handed her the keys and continued on his path towards the bridge. I briefly wondered if the vampires had awakened yet. I'm not a vampire. My species aren't well known and don't have a name. Yes, we drink blood, but we aren't the fiction favourite known for showmanship or false declarations of love. We're hardly registered in the shock videos people post, most of which are discounted with the same vehemence as UFO videos. It amuses me that people assume monsters are incapable of using technology. It has been my observation that the predator has the highest intelligence, especially more than the prey, but that may be personal bias. The young woman watched her boyfriend walk away. "Terry, my meal had a name?" She straightened her shoulders and turned, her eyes frantically scanning every shadow for a monster. I let her pass my hiding place. Her shoulders tightened just a fraction, but I could see her fear. And then, as if she felt me watching, she ran. Again I followed across deserted streets until she turned into the parking garage. Glancing over her shoulder, Terry searched for me. I know she could feel me, and suffered that cold, clammy fear, knowing with the base instinct that some shadowy creature watched her. I almost let her go. I nearly turned back to hunt the boyfriend. It was the right thing to do, to reward Terry and punish the boyfriend for leaving her alone. But I am neither parent nor teacher, and I seldom do the right thing. I let my form shift into the dark mist of my kind. You heard of the hag that sits on a person's chest and drinks her essence while they sleep. That hag is a distant cousin, an offshoot monster who lets her prey live. Sinking into the parking garage, I found Terry unlocking the door with shaking hands. She smelled like adrenaline. She smelled like pure fear. With a sigh, I drew closer. She smelled so good. She tasted better. Climbing into the car, she closed the door with a sigh of relief and locked it up tight. I let the mist of my being sink through the roof of the car, surrounding her and drowning her in her own terror. I killed her with the same cold satisfaction of a 30-year-old woman biting into a cheeseburger and groaning with pleasure. With every last drop of her blood drained, I lifted away, a shadowy darkness with no remorse. I let the wind blow me away from the city into the suburbs where I would sleep. I am a meat eater. I am a monster. As I said, the chasm seems nearly insurmountable. The end. It's a very interesting story indeed. I thought she was going to be a vampire, but clearly not. That's not what she is. Thank you for listening, and many blessings. Wysteria. Energy. Twister.